TMNT Universe is meant for adult collectors and Ninja Turtles fans.
This is a Channel 6 News special report.
Hello! It's good to finally be back with you guys. I felt like I needed to get on here and talk about the elephant in the room, and by elephant, I really mean the rat. On March 7th, Super 7 dropped this teaser image of obviously a pizza rat with the caption, "Long live the king." That obviously meant we were going to get the Rat King next, which is one of my favorite characters and figures of all time. And I, for one, was super excited to see how Super 7 was going to interpret this particular sculpt. But instead, we got this. A lot more anime-inspired and less Playmates-styled Rat King. Which may be the first sign of validity to a rumor that's been going around for quite a while that there is an issue between Super 7 and Playmates about them recreating these old-style figures, and that we may have to see more interpretations going forward. I actually think the first sign of this character alteration was instead of doing a Sergeant Bananas figure, they went with Gorilla from the TMNT magazine comic over issues of who owned that character. And this kind of makes me worried about what alterations are going to be made to figures that we haven't gotten yet, especially considering how well they killed it with characters like Slash and this entire wave. Look at that scumbag. I think they captured the look of the original Playmates figures while adding to it perfectly. But getting back to the Rat King figure, do I think it's bad? No. It's fine. It's a good interpretation of the character. I'm probably going to get it, but it's not what I was expecting, and I think that's what the problem was. Based on everything else we've seen, I was expecting this. A more grotesque, gnarled up Rat King, with all this texture, the bone, the centipede on his chest, the extra rats, the pockmarks on his face, the bald spots in his hair. Everything about this character is kind of disgusting, and I love it. And more so, these accessories. The rat crossbow, the grappling hook, and of course, that roadkill belt. Those are things I was really looking forward to with this figure. Which I think is my main issue with this figure, is it's kind of lackluster. It's a decent sculpt, but his face is kind of plain. The third head with more bandages looks a little sicker, and the one in the middle with the red eyes is a little bit more like the figure, but it's not capturing that, I guess, scary look of the Rat King. And 3 rats and a flute and extra hands, it's just not doing it for me. I really wanted those accessories, and I just feel like this is kind of lacking. Am I going to get it? Yeah. But I can't say it's not a disappointment. In fact, I'm not sure how I feel about this entire wave. I generally like the human characters, but 3 human characters and 1 turtle variant feels a little weird. First off, we have a Mirage-style Casey, which is pretty much a redeco of the original figure, with a new head, a new paint job, and minus his weapons rack. Then we have Ninja April, which I'm assuming is supposed to be a recreation of the Ninja Newscaster April, which was really just a redeco of Cavewoman April from the original Playmates line. And honestly, I kind of like the look of this figure better and think this is what the Ninja Newscaster April originally should have looked like back in the 90s. But what I don't like is, aside from the alternate heads and the microphone nunchucks, is all of her accessories are kind of lackluster. They're basically just the turtle's weapons with some yellow wraps around them, and then her camera and the throwing stars. So, I don't know. I just feel like there's an overall theme of cost-cutting to this wave, and I hope that's not a sign of bad things to come. But then we have Rock and Roll Classic Rock Leo, which is making me very confused because they did a great job recreating the original Playmates figures, so I don't know whether they can or cannot recreate Playmates figures anymore. I really need Brian or someone to come out and let us know what is actually happening. But this figure alone, they make some tweaks to it, but I'm really digging it. I like the double neck guitar being the 2 katana guitar neck swords that he had. The Blue Oyster Pizza is a nice little touch, and this will go great with the Punker Don. I'm hoping we get the other 2 Rock and Roll Turtles, as well as hopefully finally getting a Don the Undercover Turtle so I can finish out that group of disguised turtles for my OCD. And if you're like me and think that 3 out of the 4 figures from this wave being human characters is a bit much, then you should jump over to Twitter and give Preternia a follow. They always have a lot of great news, link in the description, but they were quick to catch that there was a potential 5th figure and yet another human character. It appears someone over at Super 7's social media account made a mistake and accidentally posted the wrong picture, revealing an upcoming Karai figure. Now, this Karai figure apparently has some reuse from the April Ninja figure, like the leg wraps and the arm wrap, which kinda seems like another cost-cutting measure because as far as I know, a lot of the Super 7 figures haven't had a lot of reuse except for the turtles. And this whole thing just raises more questions about what does the license entail. Are we going to see TMNT Adventure Archie figures, more Mirage figures, cartoon figures? I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll start doing Rise of the TMNT figures. I have no idea what the license actually consists of anymore and would really like someone over at Super 7 to give us fans and collectors some kind of guidance. So my final thoughts on TMNT Ultimates Wave 10. Is it that bad? No. Is it as good as some of the other waves? That's also a no. I just don't think this grouping of characters works well together. If these were spread out with other characters, maybe it would be a little more palatable. I'm still a little disappointed in that Rat King, just because he doesn't look like the original figure, and I would really like to know why that is officially. The rumor keeps going around, but I really would like to hear it from someone at Super 7. Well, that's all I have for right now, so until next time, this is Ultramex, Channel 6 Happy Hour News, signing off.
This has been a Channel 6 News special report.
Hey guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to kick that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I upload every Turtle Tuesday, so you can always come back to see what's new. You can also check me out on various social media, links in the description. And as always, for all things Turtles, check TMNT Universe.